leaders, this video is for Upstreet May week 3, and our life app for this month is determination, deciding that it's worth it to finish what you started. And our memory verse for the month is, let us not become tired of doing good. At the right time, we will gather a crop if we don't give up. Galatians 6:9. So all month long, we've kind of been talking about some of the disciples and what happened after Jesus resurrected, and kind of the early church. So week 1, we talked about Peter and John going before the Sanhedrin, and our bottom line was keep going even when it gets hard. Last week, we learned about Peter and Cornelius, and our bottom line was keep going even when the job is bigger than you think. And this week is all about the armor of God. So our bottom line is God gives you what you need to keep going. So this week's lesson is called Outer Wall. And just like normal, please make sure that you're there at 8:30 and 10:30. Please make sure that you're praying for your kids before service starts. Just praying for those kids who might be coming for the first time. Thanking God for giving us what we all need to keep going. And just praying that kids hear this message and are able to apply it to their lives. So you guys are going to continue to meet in the same room. It's that first room on the left. And that will probably be for another couple of weeks till construction is over. So as kids start to come in at 8:40 and 10:40, like normal, you're just going to play with them. And your icebreaker questions for this week are, ask kids if they've ever won anything, like a trophy or a game or a prize, and ask them what they needed in order to be the winner. So what about sports? Do they have teams that they cheer for, like maybe the Cardinals or the Blues? And what do the teams in each of those sports need in order to win? So, sorry, I'm babysitting 2 kids right now, and we're doing this at my house, so if it's crazy, I apologize in advance. All right, so at 9 o'clock, your interactivity, what you're going to do is you're going to pass out these cards to the kids. So these are all different objects. They should recognize the picture, but the words on them if you need to tell them. And then what you're going to do is you're going to tell the kids that you're going to read some scenarios, and they have to decide if the picture of the object that they have is what they would need in that particular situation. And if they're holding the correct card, then they need to stand up and say, I've got what you need, and then tell the group what their picture is. So if I'm going to play baseball, I need and the kid holding the baseball would stand up and say, I've got what you need, a baseball. If I'm going to drive a car, I need I've got what you need, a steering wheel, and so on and so forth. So those will be in your folder. There'll be one set for first service and then a second set for second service.
Let's go downstairs.
Also, make sure that you're doing your attendance sheet each week, too. Hold on 1 second, Parker.
Let's go downstairs.
Okay, so then at 10 after, you guys are going to go to large group. And this time, we're going to have large group in the downtown room. It's going to be interesting. We're going to try to have it cleaned out the best we can. So really just make sure that you're telling your kids to not touch any of the construction in the new rooms. Then make sure that they stay by you, especially these younger kids. And we're going to be in the large group, and they'll really have to sit quiet because I don't think we'll have mics set up in there. All about flexibility, right? Okay, so then your review activity after large group is called Suit Me Up. So what you're going to do is each kid is going to get an activity page of a guy like this, and then they're going to get all of these different pieces of armor. And what you're going to do is you're going to hold them up and ask the kids to raise their hand if they can name any of the pieces. So the sword of the Spirit, the helmet of salvation, shoes of good news, the belt of truth, the armor of godliness, and the shield of faith. And then you're going to just kind of go over what you learned in the story and give them a little kindergarten level explanation of each thing. And then help the kids to find the correct places to glue the armor onto the illustration. And if you have time, then they can color it in. So we've got our helmet of, I don't know, I'm doing this. You guys are obviously going to be able to figure out where these pieces go because it's not rocket science. But I just kind of want to see what it looks like. So super cute. He looks awesome. He's got all of his gear on. The kids will glue those in place. They're all cut out for you. And then what you're going to say is you guys did an awesome job remembering the armor of God and where it goes. And with all those different pieces God gave us, we're really able to defend ourselves from anything. Can you guys tell I'm babysitting boys? I bet you couldn't tell. There are so many scary and big things we face in life, but we are always prepared to defeat them because God gives you what you need to keep going. Hey, can you guys go play back in church room for just a little bit? Henry, stop. Okay. So then tell about a time that God gave you something that you needed. So maybe you needed patience, or maybe you needed love to do something, and then just remember that God gives us what we need to keep going. Okay? Hey, go play back in Trip's room. Go, Trip, go to your room. Go, go, go. Okay, so then the memory verse review activity, you're going to ask your kids to sit in a circle. Awesome. Can you guys go play back in Trip's room really quick? Or go back downstairs? They were downstairs. Okay, so have them sit in a circle and have them put their hands out to the side like they're asking why. And then what they're going to do is they're going to take their left hand and put it on top of the person's hand sitting next to them. So if you've ever played like the game where you like slap hands sitting in a circle, that's what it is. So they're going to put their left hand on top of their person sitting next to them right hand. So everybody should have an overlapping hand. Their right hand should all be on top. Their left hand should all be on top and their right hand should all be on the bottom. And then they're going to gently remind them, very gently, you might even want to give them a demonstration what that looks like, to slap the left hand of the kid to their right. So as they say each word of the memory verse, they're going to take turns passing it around the circle. And the person's hand who was slapped on the last word of the verse goes to the middle, and they're out sleeping. But they get back in the game when the next person's out. So the goal is just to go around, say it as many times as possible, and get out of the middle as quickly as you can. Austin, or Parker, leave Abby alone. Okay. And then what you're going to say is, so guys, it was no fun being in the middle, was it? Just like we don't like to be out sleeping in the middle, our verse also tells us that we don't want to grow tired of doing what God tells us, because we'll miss out on all the awesome things he has for us and others. I don't know about you, but I don't want to miss out on a good time. Remember, even when we get tired, God gives you what you need to keep going. And then to pray, just start off by brainstorming some things that God gives us, like our parents, our aunts and our uncles, our grandparents, our friends, a church, food, a house, brothers and sisters, and then sit in a circle with your small group and have each person say, thank you, God, for giving me blank, and thank God for one thing. And then after they've all had a chance to thank God for something, just close the group with this prayer. God, thank you for giving me everything I need. Even when we may not think we have everything we want, we can trust that you will never leave us without what we need. Help us to always be grateful for what you've given us and never grow tired of doing what you've asked us to do. Thank you that you always give us what we need to keep going. Amen. I think that's it. Oh, there we go. So as adults, just ask kids to show their parents their armor of God little worksheet there and remind them that they can put on the armor of God no matter what they're facing, because God gives you what you need to keep going. So that's it, guys. You should have gotten a message about recommitment sheets that look like this. So you should get one of those if you're serving this Sunday. And as soon as you turn it back in, your leader will give you 25% off to the bookstore. Also, we are going to have an awesome breakfast buffet in between services in the downtown room. So make sure if you're serving first service, come and check it out. We're going to have lots of food, so please don't leave me hanging with lots of food. Come and eat. If you're serving second service, come a little early. Get a good breakfast spread. Bring your kids, bring your significant others, and enjoy, just as a way of saying thank you, thank you, thank you for all that you guys do. Have a great end to your week, and I'll see you on Sunday.